Hi guys, my name is Emma Herman and today I'll be talking to you guys about the ketogenic diet. According to the Center of Disease Control's most recent data as of May 3rd, 2017, 70.7% of adults are overweight, with 30.9% obese, and rates continuing to increase. With these increases in obesity, they've also found increased rates of cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, diabetes, and stroke. Almost all of us have been impacted by at least one of these diseases. With majors in biology and nutrition science, I've been introduced to many different diet techniques and the associated pathways. Today we're going to talk about the differences between a carbohydrate-based diet and a fat-based diet, the biochemical and physiological pathways associated with them, what a fat-based diet consists of, and some of the benefits behind it. The ketogenic diet is a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet that alters the way that the body uses its nutrients for energy. Before we get started with the ketogenic diet, we're first going to talk about the typical American diet or carbohydrate-based diet. The primary macronutrient in this diet is carbohydrates. As seen in the My Plate and Food Pyramid, vegetables, fruits, and grains make up the primary constituents of these meals. All of these break down into sugars, which eventually turn into glucose, requiring the secretion of insulin to decrease the blood sugar back to normal. As you can see in this graph, in red, the first increase in blood sugar occurs when we eat a high carbohydrate or sugary food. The green line is shown by a high-fat diet, which keeps a relatively steady blood sugar throughout the whole day. Moving on to a ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet consumes less than 50 grams of carbohydrates a day, which puts the body into a starvation mode, really just a starvation mode from carbohydrates. But it enters a metabolic state known as ketosis. In ketosis, the body produces ketones via ketogenesis. The body produces ketones because not all organs are able to use fats directly for energy, one of these organs being the brain. When ketones are produced in excess, we simply exhale them via the mouth or excrete them in the urine. Due to very little carbohydrate and sugar intake, as we discussed earlier, this helps to regulate the blood sugar to a relatively steady level throughout the whole day, even through food consumption. If blood sugar is ever too low, we can always derive further sugar from specific ketones, as explained in the Scientific American. The ketogenic diet is a natural diuretic, so it will increase urine output. So it's very important to maintain adequate fluid intake to avoid dehydration. So now moving on to what does a ketogenic diet look like. One major misconception is that the ketogenic diet is greasy cheeseburgers, french fries, and bacon all day long. As you can see in the graph in the study that was done by Bueno in the British Journal of Nutrition, the group that had the ketogenic diet actually had higher HDL, which was the good cholesterol, as compared to the group that had low-calorie diets. And then the Keto Dash recommends that 70% of our energy intake come from fats, 25% come from protein, and only 5% come from carbohydrates. And then the amount of calories that we consume will depend on sex and age and amount of physical activity that we do. So here's an example of what a ketogenic diet might look like. We have an egg, we have some bacon, and we have some avocado slices. High fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate. As compared to a carbohydrate-based diet, we have some oatmeal and some fruit, all which break down into sugars that would increase the blood sugar. Lastly, benefits of ketogenic diet. It provides greater weight loss success, as said by WebMD, in that fats require greater energy to break down into an energy source. It can also help lower and stabilize blood sugar. And then in the October 1st, 2013 Scientific American, it was found to have beneficial relationships in many brain disorders, including epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, autism, and some sleep disorders and cancers. So to sum things up, the ketogenic diet changes the way that the body uses its food for energy. Today we discussed how the carbohydrate-based diet differs from fat-based diets. We also discussed how their pathways differ, the differences in what they consist of, and as well as some of the benefits of a fat-based diet. However, one thing to consider is that not all diets work for all people. There is not one end-all cure-all diet for obesity. Diets need to be individualized because we all process foods differently due to genetics. Thanks, guys.